Okay, enough of that because that was way too much crap for me. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about how to make art fun. It's going to be a little bit unscripted, but for the most part, my main goal in this video is to just try to get people to enjoy art again. Now, the main thing for me when it comes to making art and why it's so important is it's a part of me. I can't live without art. That kinda sounds a little bit, clingy or something like that, but I love art. It's probably my favorite hobby. It's one thing that I enjoy doing no matter what. I think a lot of people get caught up in the tutorial beginner trap, where they just sit there and watch tutorials and tutorials, and they don't ever really try to create anything, or they, spend more time than they really should trying to perfect something that's a little bit early. You're too early in your journey to be worrying about perfecting anything. You need to focus on just having a good time and enjoying the process, which I think gets lost a lot of the time in everyone's journey. At some point, people just forget what it means to just have fun with your art and to just make things for the sake of making things. I feel like a lot of people struggle with, or at least I used to struggle with, if something wasn't turning out right, I would just straight up give up on it, or it would frustrate me to the point where I would just stop making art, and that's not exactly what you're supposed to do. That's never what you're supposed to do, is when you're frustrated with something, just give up on it. It makes more sense to just take a break. And that's something I think a lot of people don't do as well, is take breaks from their artwork, come back with a fresh mind, and I think I think it's just really tragic that a lot of people tie so much of their personality to whether or not other people think their art is good. And I know that's like the cat calling the kettle black or whatever. Uh, is that the saying? I don't know. I'm kind of stupid. I'm sorry about that, guys. But basically, it's just so important to love your art for the sake of it's like loving yourself. You know, you need to love yourself, not just rely on other people's attention and whether or not they you think they care about you. It's important to really focus on, I guess, self-care. And in this way, self-care kind of relates to your artwork in that you need to focus on yourself and not so much so on other people, what they want to do and what they're doing with their art and their time. I think it's really important for you to try to explore because this whole video is about how to make art fun again. And I think one big thing for me was exploring different options and really taking a break from my artwork and coming back to it gave me that opportunity to explore what could be done. For example, one great example is that in my illustration with with the maid and the butler, I wound up going and finding other brushes for water effects, which allowed me to make tea splashes, which and then add cake falling in the sky, you know, because there's plates and everything, or in the air, not the sky. But you know, it's just so much you can come up with so many things that you can't think of in the moment because it's like tunnel vision. If you get tunnel vision and then all of a sudden, you know, you're trying to sit here and make something super complicated or super advanced, and the next thing you know, you have all this tunnel vision, you can't think straight. It's good to take a break and come back later. I think another thing that makes art fun again is interacting with other fellow artists. And I'm not talking about social media if you can help it. I'm talking about real life friends. Friends that you know personally, you can get together on Discord or something and really give them a shot. Give them a chance to give you critique, help each other on your journeys. I think that's something that's missing in a lot of people's lives in this day and age is connecting with people in real life, in real time, you know, getting critique and feedback faster than going on some random forum and hoping that people actually care about your work and aren't just going to flame you for not being Picasso. You know what I mean? I think Picasso's who I'm thinking of. But anyway, like I said, I'm stupid, guys. Please bear with me. You need to forget about the fundamentals for a second. You need to forget about what other people are doing how they're trying to manage their own skills and whatever they're doing, you need to you need to find why you're making art and stick to that. If you're making art for the sake of making money, for example, that's not enough of a reason. You're going to get burnt out real quick. But if you're sitting here making art for the sake of making art because you love it, you love making pictures, you love making music, that's the key. That's the thing I think a lot of people forget about very quickly because everyone is so caught up in hustle culture and thinking that, oh, if I just get this much better, if I get this many views, and yeah, that those things in some cases may matter to you, but it's important to just enjoy the process. And that's what this video is about. Truly enjoying the process of making art. But some people don't enjoy it. And unless you do, or find a way to enjoy it, you're never gonna have fun making art. And that's what you gotta go back to, is what made art fun for you. That's the key.